What's up, tribe? How you guys doing? Go ahead and hit that subscribe button. I hope you like this video. This is going to be your review for Ambitions Season 2, Episode 1. Mm-mm. Oh, Season 2, Episode 1. My bad. That's exactly what it says. Okay. I guess, was last week supposed to be the season finale? I don't. Okay. We're going to roll with it. We got a double episode tonight. So here's Episode 1. We're going to get you Episode 2. So we start this episode off with Stephanie down to the job, confronting her father, saying, "Look, I go along with a whole lot of this mess that y'all got going on, but I'm not gonna do business with Greg Peters. We know that Greg Peters killed Senior, and for once, Stephanie actually act like she care about somebody, and she actually putting something ahead of Greg of her love of money and herself. Um, and she goes toe to toe with her father. Her father said, "Look, Stephanie, we need to do work with Greg Peters. Like what we don't want is Greg Peters' daddy to leave the Ukraine or wherever he is over there in Eastern Europe and bring his happy ass on over here. Is it Eastern Europe? And bring his ass on over here." And so Daddy said, "Look, we got this taken care of. Stephanie, don't you worry about it." Now down to the mayor's office, Mayor Nandale meeting with the chief of police or the detective or somebody. And she says, "Look, we have Senior's killer. He confessed. He had Senior's watch. He had Senior's the engagement ring he was going to give to the wife. The girlfriend. Case closed. Boom, boom, boom." And Evan was like, "Look, this is way too neat. We done tied this up in a nice little bow. No, ma'am. No, sir. No, no, no." And the police officer is like, "Look, Mayor, I understand how you feel and everything, but it is what it is. This is all the evidence that we have." So Evan wants to talk to the dude. I guess he figured he can get some information out of him or whatever. All right, we'll get back to them. Down to the Bella. Bella confronts her friend. Now, y'all told me this woman's name in my chat earlier this week. Thank you for letting me know. I appreciate it. But we're just going to call her the skank. Does she really need a name? The skank. So Bella says, "Why would you tell Evan that I'm over here sleeping with old dude? What is wrong with you? You know we got a crazy relationship. You know how things go with us. You done put me in a real messed up situation with him." And she was like, "Oh, it just slipped." I was like, "It just slipped? What? How that slip out?" So then she switched up and was like, "Well, I think he needed to know that you had options. He needed to know that you weren't just sitting around waiting on him." I mean, she said, well, Bella said, "Whoa, wait a minute. Did it slip out or did you tell him on purpose? Which one was it?" So then she was hemming and hawing. Bella said, "I tell you what, I appreciate that you moved in here after everything went down with me and with the kidnapping and stuff, but it's time for you to go." Now, Bella, here's where you made your mistake. Because if you peeped her game enough to know that something wasn't clean in the water, why would you leave her alone in your apartment? Bella gonna say, "Look, I got an appointment. I want you gone by the time I get back." No, ma'am, no, sir. You watch her pack. You take her key. Why would you leave her in your apartment unattended and not take the key from her? See, people just stupid. That was just dumb, Bella. Now they didn't show her doing anything extra to the apartment or anything like that. But I don't put nothing past her that she made a duplicate of the key or that she picked up some stuff she wasn't supposed to pick up out that apartment. You running your business out of the same place you work. All she had to do was go through. Anyway, y'all know where I'm going with that one. Neither here nor there. So Stephanie confronts her dad, and Stephanie's like, "Look, you know and I know that dude did not kill Senior. What's really good?" And the father was like, "Look, Stephanie, does it really matter if somebody goes to jail for killing Senior? Isn't that all right? Does it have to be Greg Peters? Really?" And I guess in the grand scheme of things, I guess it doesn't have to be Greg Peters. I don't know. Um, Down to the Purifoy, the board wants to meet with the owner. So Titus and the owner, and he gonna hit Titus up. "What's up, my man?" Titus was like, "What's up, my man?" So he tells Titus, he basically threatens Titus and says, "Look, you better not take the board side over my side. You stick with me through this, because I hired you and I will fire you." So he hit Titus with that old move, right? So the board, they convened the meeting and everything, and the board they asked Titus what his opinion is, and Titus was like, "Look, we need to just go on and settle this. Like, there's no way to get like the evidence is just stacked up against us. We can't get out of this." So of course, as soon as the meeting is over, he come up in there and he's pissed off at Evan and he threatens to fire Evan, talking about something as soon as this case is over with, your ass is on the street. I feel like as soon as the case is over with, Titus is gonna quit. I think the only reason why he is still there is just to see the whole thing through and finish what he started. Because he seemed like that kind of dude that's like, I gotta finish what I start. But I don't really hold my breath that he's gonna stay there anyway. Then he says, and I don't trust your little traitor ass, so I will be going to the settlement conference with you. And we are not going to give them more than XYZ, whatever number he threw out. And Titus was sitting there like, yeah, all right then, because first of all, you can't fire me right now. And second of all, the board done already told me what I'm authorized to spend. So it's whatever. But that scene's the best scene of the episode. We're gonna get there later on because we really got to the nits and grit, the nits and y'all know what I'm saying. I think I'm combining two sayings. We got down to the nooks and crannies. I think I was trying to say nooks and cranny and meat and potatoes at the same time. But anyway, we got down to the we got down to the bottom of what's really going on between these two families. Now, with that being said, let's go on over to Greg Peters' place. Hold on. This a group chat. This a group chat. I don't know what they're talking about, but I need to turn this on. Okay. So over to Greg Peters' apartment. He's there with his crazy local uh ass cousin, kissing cousin, I guess she is. And she's sitting there with, she got herself a little eye candy, arm candy. They out on the balcony playing opera. That I'm gonna tell you, when he first came in that apartment and that opera was playing like that, and the way he reacted, oh, I thought his daddy was there. I said, oh, it's about to be ugly. Daddy is in town. Because, they've been building this up from the beginning of the season or the beginning of the show, really. We don't want daddy coming. We don't want daddy coming. We don't want daddy. And I said, daddy done came and it's going to be a problem. But it wasn't. It was a daggone crazy ass cousin, honey. Now, while the crazy cousin is out there, she threatening him, of course, making the same old threats to him about how she going to kill Stephanie and this, that, and the other. Stephanie shows up. And as soon as he opens up the door, Stephanie bulldozes her way in, and he's like, look, this ain't a good time. She said, I don't care about whatever hoes you got up in here. I know you killed Senior, and we got a problem. Or I know your cousin killed Senior, and we got a problem because either you want to take care of her or I'm going to take care of her, right? So then Stephanie realizes that the cousin is there. So Stephanie's like, let me get her. He was like, no, you don't want that smoke. She said, look, handle it or I will. Stephanie walks out the door. He gonna mumble under his breath. I don't know which one of y'all is crazier. I said, you stuck between a rock and a good old hard place, fool. Now down to the Bella True. She finally did something smart. Even though I'm gonna tell y'all. She finally did something smart. After Evan gave her the little 411 on the family drama going on with this company that she's supposed to be working for, she reached out to the brother that is actually in charge. So when Julio showed up. I know that's not his name. Don't put it in the chat. I know that ain't the man's name. But anyway, when he showed up, Julian, I think it is anyway, he showed up, thinking everything was all good between him and Bella. Bella confronted him. Now, to his credit, he ain't lied to her. He said, yeah, you're right. You absolutely correct. My mom is under the weather. Me and my brother had a power struggle. I lost. But you were my secret weapon. I thought that I could bring you in with your designs. I could make you the in-house designer, and you were gonna be the future of this company. He was like, he said, well, how do you know all of this? And she said, well, I called your brother, and I am the future of your company. He's 100% on board with me coming on. And he was like, yo, don't trust my brother. I'm telling you, my brother, you making the she said, he was like, you making a big mistake trusting my brother. I'm telling you. She said, well, I really wish someone had given me that advice before I ran into you. Now, I'm gonna say this to you, Bella. That was a smart move. You reaching out to the father and everything. I mean the brother and everything. But I believe Julian on this one. I think the brother is really the one that you need to look out for. I kind of believe him. Only because he came clean so easy. He didn't haul. He was like, "Yep, that was me. I did it. You right." I don't know, y'all. I got my eye on this one. I'm not feeling this one. I'm not. That's. I don't feel like. I'm feeling that the other brother, might be the one that we need to look out for. I don't think we've seen the last of that. Okay. Now down to the mayor's office. Evan and his father-in-law have a little square off, and Evan is like, "Look, I know Greg Peters had something to do with killing my father, and you still doing business with him, and I'm not going to do business with him." He was like, "Look, you better go on and get that man that airport concession, before all of us be floating up in the river." What's the river? What's the river that go through Atlanta, honey? I was going to say the Hudson, but they not in New York. They in Atlanta. Ever said, "Look, I am not." He was like, "Well, you did business with him before." He said, "Yeah, I did business with him before. That's before he threatened my family and threatened, what was going on down with the banks, and damn before he killed my daddy." He was like, "Look, son," he said, "I'm not your son. You could never be the man that my father was, and I'm gonna need you to get up out of my office." So of course he tried to throw around some threats or whatever. He done called security to get him up out of there. Let me say this: what I like, if y'all go back to the first couple of episodes of Ambitions, they made Evan so unlikable. And then they started softening him up as and if you go back to my reviews, you'll see me saying that. They started softening him up a little bit. The Evan that they showed us in the first couple of episodes, I don't think would have gave a damn about who killed his daddy. Like, I really don't. I don't think he would have cared enough about who killed his father. That's just my opinion. That's my 2 cents. But this Evan does, and this that Evan is willing to put his business on the mayor's business to the side to get justice for his dad. But he ends up throwing his father-in-law up out the office. The father-in-law was not feeling that at all. He was like, "Get your hands up off me." Now, his chief of staff, she in turn states evidence. She's down there talking to Amara, and she's spilling all the tea about what the mayor did. She breaking down the whole operation. But when Amara asked her to connect it to Greg Peters, all of a sudden she got amnesia. Amara said, "Hold up, hold up, hold up. You told me you could connect all this to Greg Peters." She said, "I don't know what you're talking about." She said, "Oh, he got to you, huh? Greg Peterson got to you." She said, "I don't know what you're talking about. I told you that I could give you the mayor. I'm giving you all the information you need to get the mayor. I don't know nothing about this Greg Peters stuff." Amara was like, "I tell you what, since you obviously got everything under control, federal um, protection off the table, okay? Clearly, you know what you're doing, and you got it all under control. And good luck with that." Next thing you know, we see her leaving, and she called Greg Peters, telling Greg Peters, basically, "I did what you told me to do." Now, I don't know other than her life, obviously. I don't know what else he threatened her with. I don't know if he has information or if, he just threatened her life. But she did do that. Now we see Amar and Titus um at the house. And Titus and Amar had a little situation because she did tell Titus that she went to go see Crazy Boy. And he was like, "What is wrong with you? Why are you going to go see him?" And she was like, "Because I was trying to get him, to admit that he's working with Stephanie. But I say again, you got him on tape saying that he's going to keep stalking you and that he's not going to stop. That's not good enough." I don't know. Moving on. But now her and Titus, they're chilling. They having, they both talking about how bad their days were because Titus had the whole situation with the Pier 4 board, and she had the whole situation with the chief of staff flipping on her, and they're sort of commiserating amongst themselves about how bad that was. And then the news comes on, and they see that somebody else is being charged with the murder for Senior, and of course they know Greg Peters killed Senior, and they know that this is all a setup, and so there they go with that. No, that's a lie. I told y'all a lie. That is not what happened. My bad. The newscast was the mayor talking about his chief of staff being brought up on federal charges and how she's no longer in charge, and he's so appalled and surprised at what it is. That's what it was, y'all. I don't know where I made that up. I don't know where that part came from. But that's what happened. So that's why Amara was like, "God damn," you know what I mean? Like he done found, now he getting out, he getting out there. Down to Thelma's place, honey. Cousin done turned Thelma's place into a whole after hours juke joint, card playing, strip club, DJ in the corner, drugs, craps. Yo, everything, every hood ghetto cliche you could think of was going on down to Thelma's place. Okay, they even had a DJ up in the spot. How they get all that in there without Andell waking up? I mean, really, a DJ, a DJ. And by the time she woke up and went downstairs, it had to be a good 40 people up in there playing cards, shooting dice, smoking weed. I mean, so Andell went and got Senior's shotgun, and she double cocked that thing and told them the party is over. And then she was talking to her cousin. She said, "Look, I know you're not really feeling Evan, but you can't be that mad at Evan that you are putting everything my mother worked for in jeopardy. Like, this is what you're doing to my mother's restaurant." And she was like, "Your good for nothing brother left me hanging." She was like, "Okay, but he offered you $500,000. Like, that doesn't make up for it." She said, "I'm pretty sure if you go to Greg Peters, you can get $1 million. And since I can't sell this place without y'all signature, what it's going to cost to get rid of me is $1 million. That's what my train ticket or bus ticket back to Detroit is going to cost." So Andell, she kind of left Andell with that, and I was like, "Oh boy, here we go." I feel like cousin going to end up dead. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. I think she's going to disappear. I think she's going to be on that midnight train to Georgia, whether she want to or not. But okay, she already in Georgia. That don't make sense. Midnight train to Detroit. So here was the best scene of the episode: the settlement scene between Stephanie and her dad and Titus and the Purefoy company. So Stephanie and her dad get ready to go into the negotiations because, of course, they got Purefoy over a barrel. There's nothing they can do about it. So the father says, "Look, you let me handle this. I've been waiting on this for a long time. Now, y'all know Stephanie wasn't going to do that." He said, "We are not coming away with anything less than $2.5 billion." Okay. Stephanie was like, "Okay, Dad." So they get into the negotiations. They staring each other down. And the minute um her father get ready to open his mouth and tell them what he want, she comes out her mouth with $5 billion. Her father looked at her like, "Bitch, I did not ask you to put your 2 cents in on this." And of course, Titus was like, 5 billion. Like what? Um, I can't go back and forth, but let me just break down what went down. So Purefoy guy was like, "Ain't no way in hell we about to give y'all this much money." He said, "That will bankrupt my company." He was like, "I will fight to the end before I give y'all that kind of money." So then that's when Stephanie's father jumped up and was like, he said, "You know what, after what y'all did to me, I'm cool with your company being bankrupt." So what we end up finding out while they going back and forth arguing with each other, Stephanie's father was the first in-house counsel for Purefoy. Somehow or another, there was some insider trading going on, and old dude's daddy and him planned to put it on Stephanie's dad. So Stephanie's dad ended up taking the fall for this insider trading. He said he lost his law license, he lost his reputation, and he had to start all over again, basically from the bottom as an associate at like some no-name firm. He said, "And I worked my ass off to get back to this point right here where I could get my revenge and bankrupt you." And so he was like, "See, that's why we here. This is not about us selling drugs to disenfranchised black people. You on here, you hear about some pure back, some revenge type stuff. Like that's the only reason why we are here." And Stephanie's dad was like, "I mean, it's whatever. Like, okay, revenge, that's fine by me." So he was like, so that's when dude was like, "Look, the company will fold before I give you any money. We ain't doing that." He was like, "Let's go." So Titus hit him with the, "We really need to go ahead and settle this. Why don't you go for a walk so we can go ahead and work this out?" Then Stephanie tells her dad, "Let me handle the rest of the negotiations." Father was like, "Cool, because I did what I came here to do, basically. Pretty much, I came to look you dead in your face and tell you that I did this to you." That's pretty much all her dad wanted to do. So they end up settling for the 2.5. Stephanie started at 5. He said he was only authorized to do 2. She said 3. He said 2.5, and that's really all I can do. And it's a deal. Boom, it's a wrap. And then Stephanie was like, I'm not. No, I think her father was like, I don't even know why you still working for these, for these dudes. Like, you see what they about. You see what kind of scum they working with. So down to Thelma's place, the police officer says, look, I checked, I rechecked, I triple checked. This is the dude that killed your father. And of course, and they'll know that's not who he is. Over to Greg Peters' place, he didn't call daddy and he didn't let daddy know that Natasha is running wild in these Atlanta streets and she's causing more problems than she's solving. And we need to get her up out of here. So the security very nicely is going to escort her back to where she came from. So Natasha's gone. Tasha's no more of a threat, at least for now. Evan's security shows up over to the Thought's house, right? Wanting some sex. Now he puts his gun on the table. And she looks at the gun and she looks at him and she was like, really, dude? Like, you just feel like you just gonna come over here and have sex with me whenever you feel like it. Like, I thought it was just that one time shot. I didn't think it was gonna roll like that. And he was like, no, basically, you belong to me until I'm tired of you. And she said, well, how do you think, the mayor will feel about, you knew who kidnapped his son and you didn't say anything? He was like, the mayor ain't tripping. Like, he'll be over this in a couple of weeks and he'll be on to something else. He ain't really tripping over who. You got one person, we got the kid back. He don't care. So she was like, all right, then let's do it. And I thought she was going to end up getting the gun because the way they showed the gun, baby, she got him on that bed and got to kissing on him and everything. Next thing you know, there was a pair of scissors by the bed. She picked up that pair of scissors and stabbed him dead in his chest. And she must have hit the heart because he ain't even had no fight back for her. And this was a big burly security guard type dude. He ain't had no fight back. So I was like, she must have got him right in the heart. So we're gonna see what goes down with that. Down to Stephanie's place, Greg Peters shows up to let her know, look, Natasha's gone. She's no more of a threat. So, man, you can get back to doing what we was doing. And Stephanie was like, yeah, that's not going to work for me. He was like, what you mean? Like, you like me, I like you. What's up? He said, have you ever thought about divorcing your husband? She said, I have over the last couple of weeks, but I can't be with you. Like, we come from two different worlds. He was like, oh, I'm a thug. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what you're trying to say. She was like, pretty much. But they end up having sex. Now remember, Damon then planted a camera in her office, so he's back in his apartment watching her have sex with Greg Peters, and he's like, "Gotcha, bitch." So y'all, that's where the episode ended. Y'all, let me know what y'all think. Drop it in them comments, please.